What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got the highly anticipated vehicle here. It's the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2 Obsidian. Quickly, before we jump into this bad boy, we're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button as it does help out the channel. Now, let's jump in and let's take a look at what this bad boy has to offer. Stick around because there's lots to cover. Let's go ahead and cover what the trims that you can get when it comes to the Jeep Grand Wagoneers. So there's 4 different ones that you can get. The first one is the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 1, followed by the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2, which this one is, but also you have an option to get the Obsidian package, which this one is as well. And lastly, you can get the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3. Each of these trims have their own unique things that you can get standard, but I'm going to be specifically talking about the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2 Obsidian package. In terms of the safety features that come standard, and if you thought the Grand Cherokee L's had a lot, wait till you hear the list of this one. Standard on this one, you're gonna get active lane management system, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, advanced brake assist, automatic crash notification, blind spot rear cross path detection, drowsy driver detection, full speed forward collision warning plus, motorized pre-tensioning seatbelts, park sense automated parking system, park sense front and rear park assist, pedestrian emergency braking, side distance warning, traffic sign recognition, and your surround view camera system. Now, these are standard, and of course, this one is the fully loaded package, all of the options pretty much that you can get. So it also has something called the Convenience Group 3, which is going to give you an additional amount of safety features such as intersection collision assist system, active driving assist system, night vision with pedestrian animal detection, and your deluxe security alarm. Now, let's go to the front and take a look at this Grand Wagoneer. This just looks so amazing. I thought the Grand Cherokee L's look really nice, but of course this looks 10 times better in my opinion. Let's start off at the bottom and I'll make my way up. So at the bottom, you can see you've got your black tow hooks, and this is actually a part of your heavy duty trailer tow package, but you also get a few other options with it, such as your heavy duty engine cooling and then your removable rear tow hook. Also, you've got these beautiful LED 3-optic fog lights, which just look absolutely amazing. And as you make your way towards the top, you can see the iconic 7-slot Jeep grille with the Wagoneer written at the top. Also in the front, hidden away in that gloss black, is your forward-facing camera. Another thing that you'll kind of notice, but it's hidden away in all of this piano black, is your night vision cameras. So this I will cover once I head inside, and you can actually see it in your gauge cluster, which is really cool. Because this is the Obsidian package, you're gonna get a ton of piano black accents, gloss black openings, and all of that, which just make this stand out even more. As for these headlights, these are very unique headlights, and something cool with these, not only the front headlights but the rear tail lights as well, they do have lighting animations. So right now I'm going to show you the front lights. So if you go ahead and unlock the vehicle, you can see they kind of have this nice animation going on. And even in the rear, you have the tail lights and do a nice little animation. So it's a nice little touch that they added to this, just makes it feel more premium. As for the hood, you've got kind of like the 2 indents on either sides, which does break out the hood and it makes it more aggressive looking. And then if you move further up towards the windshield, you have kind of like this slotted top, which is also blacked out as well, of course, and it just makes the whole hood stand out and goes well along with the whole aesthetic of the vehicle. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the Grand Wagoneer from the side view, you can just see how nice this looks. Now, to some people, this may look humongous, but of course, this is a 7/8 passenger vehicle, so you need that room in there. So let's say that you weren't gonna get the Obsidian package. So standard on the Grand Wagoneer Series 2, you're gonna get the 22-inch polished aluminum wheels, your 3.92 rear axle ratio, the body colored side mirrors. This also has standard the differential front axle with disconnect, your select terrain system, Quadra Drive 2, and then the Quadra Lift air suspension. Also, you're gonna be getting your roof rack along with remote proximity keyless entry, which is available through all of the door handles. Also, with these door handles, at nighttime when you lock and unlock your vehicle, they do have LED lighting illumination, so it also adds a nice little touch at night. As for what the key looks like on the Grand Wagoneer, it's exactly like the Grand Cherokee L key. You've got your lock button, unlock, remote start. You can actually lower your vehicle because you have the air suspension. You can open up your tailgate and your panic button. And on the rear of the key, you've got the nice Grand Wagoneer lettering. But if you do decide to get the Obsidian package, of course, like you're looking at and you've seen, you're gonna get the 22-inch tinted polished wheels with black inserts. And these just make the vehicle look way better in my opinion. Also, you're gonna get with the Obsidian package is the adjustable roof rail crossbars. And then you also have your black painted roof as well, which just goes along with the whole blacked out theme of the vehicle. And something cool on these is that your glass, all of the windows, are tinted mirror glass windows, so really nice, great for privacy and all of that. And because everything is pretty much blacked out, even the trim around the windows is blacked out, which is a plus. And then your side mirrors are half body color, half gloss black, and then you do have your cameras. A cool thing about the front mirrors is at nighttime, they display kind of like a light image of the Wagoneer logo. So not only are you going to get the beautiful headlights, tail lights, the fog lights, you're also going to get this nice looking little animation. Another thing that is standard on these, and I really like how they kind of did this, are your power deployable running boards. Now typically on a pickup truck and stuff like that, you can tell exactly where the side steps are, but with this one, it has it covered in the body colored paint, which just makes it nice and sleek. And once you come up to the vehicle, open the door, it retracts out. As we make our way to the rear of the Grand Wagoneer, you can just see how nice it looks. Not only does the front look nice, the rear makes it look even better. Starting off at the top, you've got this massive Grand Wagoneer badging, which if someone doesn't know, they'll know for sure now that you're driving a Grand Wagoneer. And as for these rear taillights, like I said, they have this beautiful animation that they do when you unlock the vehicle and whatnot and lock it. But just look how nice and slim and aesthetically pleasing that they look and complement the whole vehicle. Now, if you take a look in between the lights, not only do you have tons of gloss black, but if you take a look really closely, you have this kind of like a nice pattern texture going on, which just makes it look even better. The whole vehicle has these nice little aesthetic touches to it, which from far away you really can't tell, but once you get up close and personal with this, you can really start to notice the differences. And then of course, near the bottom on the bumper, you've got your rear park assist sensors and all of that good stuff. In the center there, you've got your hitch set up, so you can just remove the cover, have access to it. If you're not using it, just put the cover on and you're good to go. The exhaust tips are covered underneath the bumpers, so you get that nice clean finish on the rear. Now, if we go ahead and open up the tailgate here, you can see you have a ton, and I mean a ton of room to put whatever you need to and have enough storage in there. And if you need more storage, of course, you can fold down the third row seats and have even more room. But other than that, it's pretty much identical to the Grand Cherokee L. Back here is your tailgate button to close it. You've got a few grocery hooks. You've got your massive speaker back here. And on the other side, you do have a 12-volt adapter along with these buttons to power fold your rear seats, the third row and the second row. And at the back, you also get a few other goodies along with this nice looking mat at the back that also says Grand Wagoneer. And then if you go ahead and lift up the bottom section, here you have your adjustable roof rail crossbars, and then you have more extra space to put small little items back here as well. Now, as we make our way inside at the rear, just take a look at how premium this door trim looks. It's just absolutely stunning. You've got this nice pattern going on with the black interior accents, because typically if you didn't get the Obsidian package, you would have the interior accents with real wood. But with this, you do have the black interior accents, which just make it look way better in my opinion. You've got leather all over the place, and then near the bottom you do have some storage to put obviously for cup holders and other stuff as well. And then you have your two speakers back here, which are Macintosh speakers. Now, without the Obsidian package, you're just gonna get the Macintosh 19 speaker system because it won't be standard how it is on the Obsidian. However, you can still get the upgraded option, which will give you 23 speaker audio system. Also at the back, you do have your manual window shades. Now, we're only in the second row and there's a ton of stuff in here that you can use, play around with. Starting off with these beautiful seats. These are the Palermo leather seats, which is very comfortable, of course. And because you are getting the Obsidian package, not only is the second row heated seats, it's also ventilated seating as well. Now, like I mentioned, you can either get this in the 7-passenger, which is this one right here that you're looking at, or you can get the 8-passenger if you really do need it and you have a, bigger family and stuff like that. I'll start off in the third row and then make my way to the second row and cover all of the stuff that's remaining. Now, taking a look at the third row, you can obviously fit 3 people back here and still have a decent amount of room left. And just like the Grand Cherokee L's, Jeep has not forgotten about third row passengers because these seats are also very comfortable, just like the second row. Now, as for the third row passengers, you have this nice leather handrest with a cup holder. Of course, this is all on both sides, and then you've got USB ports back here, and then you've got that button there to move the second row seats forward and back. Now, in order to access the third row seating, the second row seats have this button up top by the headrest, which you can press and it just power folds the seat forward, or you can do it with the little lever at the side as well. Now, moving into the second row, again, like I mentioned, these seats are very comfortable, and then you have this massive center handrest area, which it has a ton of stuff that you can look at. Of course, in the center area here, you do have room up top if you just slide that little section back. Small little space, but it's a decent amount of room to put small little items, and you do have a charging port in there. But if you need more room, you can actually open up the main section, which has a decent amount of room, and it's deep enough to put, extra stuff, bigger stuff and whatnot. As for your cup holders, you do have 2 cup holders right in the center there, surrounded by a ton of piano black, and you do have your very own touchscreen at the back as well to control your temperatures, heating and cooling and whatnot. Another standard feature on the Grand Wagoneer Series 2 is that you get suede headliner. Also, I'll show you this in the front, but you have ambient lighting throughout the whole interior cabin, which is really nice and premium. And also, you'll notice it has the dual screens at the back, and this is because this vehicle also has the optional rear seat entertainment group, which is obviously going to give you the dual screens, USB video ports, and all of that good stuff. And now the rear entertainment does come with the Amazon Fire Stick, which is amazing. Also, behind the driver and passenger seats, you do have your map pockets. For the center console at the rear, you do have your venting, of course, and then you've got a ton of piano black going on again with the Grand Wagoneer written there, and then you have USB ports on either sides, and near the bottom you do have a 12-volt adapter and a 115-volt plug as well. Now, as we move into the front of the Grand Wagoneer, you can see obviously the door design style, everything is exactly the same. This just has a little bit more piano black because you've still got that nice trim with that nice design. And then of course you've got your leather, you've got your Macintosh speakers in the front, and then a little bit more room at the bottom for storage and cup holder use as well. In the center, you've got your typical window and side mirror controls. Above that, you've got your power seat settings. And then from there, you have memory seats as well. And these seats, the front ones, both of them are massage seats. And as for these beautiful front seats, these are very, and I mean very comfortable. Like I mentioned, not only are these front ones heated seats, they're also ventilated seats as well. And then on here, you've got the badging that says Series 2. Also, as for your headrests, these are also power adjustable. So driving this bad boy, you're never gonna be tired. You're always gonna be sitting in comfort and style. As for the interior color options and stuff like that, because you are getting the Obsidian package, it's only available in black. Also, on the side of both the front seats, typically where you would have your power adjustable settings for your seats, you have this nice piano black trim that says Grand Wagoneer, and then you've also got that nice door sill in the aluminum finish that says Wagoneer. Now, moving down below, just your typical foot pedals, of course, and then you've also got your hood latch release hidden away there in the corner. Right above that, you have your electronic parking brake. Moving above that, you've got your lighting controls, fog light controls, your dimmers, and then your foot pedals are also power adjustable, which is very convenient. As for your steering wheel, this is power adjustable. Again, very, very convenient. Now, as we make our way inside of the Grand Wagoneer Series 2 Obsidian package, you can just see the dashboard is just covered in leather and it just looks that much more premium. Of course, you've got your Macintosh speakers on both corners, and then this one also has your heads-up display, which makes life so much easier because you don't have to stare down at your gauge cluster. You can just be looking straight and you can still see your speed and whatnot. Also, on the interior, this whole vehicle is full, and I mean full, of piano black trim everywhere, and then you've got like the nice pattern paneling right underneath it. Even the vents, they're just done really, really nice. Now, as for your center gauge cluster, this is a 12.3 inch fully digital gauge cluster, which is very, very nice. And you'll notice this is exactly like how the Grand Cherokee L's gauge cluster is. It's pretty much the same stuff that you can do on here, the options, the different settings and whatnot. And I'm a huge fan when it comes to a fully digital gauge cluster, because you can have your speed set as analog or just a different way. You have two different options. And then also you have other different settings that you can kind of scroll through and have in front of you on this massive screen. Another cool thing is, just like the Grand Cherokee L's, you do have your map in your gauge cluster as well. So you don't have to keep looking on your actual touchscreen in the center. You have it right in front of you. And also, because this vehicle has the night vision as well, you're gonna have access to it through your center gauge cluster as well here. So it's a nice little cool feature to have in front of you while you're driving at night and whatnot. As for the steering wheel, this is a beautiful steering wheel, covered not only in piano black, but a fully leather steering wheel. And then again, you have that nice little pattern design that goes right underneath all of the controls to the other side, and you can just see the attention to detail. If you look over to the left side of the steering wheel, you have your controls for your center gauge cluster. You've got your Bluetooth settings, and then the center button is your shortcuts menu on your gauge cluster, so you can flick through different menus. Over on the right side of the steering wheel, you've got controls for your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and all of that good stuff. And also with these ones, you do have your gear limit selector as well. And in the center, you've got this Grand Wagoneer lettering, which is covered in piano black. As for the controls that are behind the steering wheel, on the left side, you've got controls for your indicators, high beams, and all of that good stuff. And to the right of the steering wheel, you've got controls for your front and rear windshield wipers, fluid. Now, if we move over to the right side of the steering wheel, where you'll find your engine start stop button. Now, typically this will be nothing to speak of, but just the way that it's angled and actually covered in leather. And again, you can see these surrounding panels. They're just really nice in that beautiful design. And below that, you've also got your trailer brake controller, which is part of your heavy duty trailer tow package. As for the center handrest, this is identical to the second row handrest like I've shown you. You've got a little bit of a section in the center. Again, same amount of space as the rear, and you do have, again, a USB port in there if you want to put small little items, a phone or something, to charge. Now, if you open up the next section, because you're getting the Obsidian package, you're gonna have a built-in cooler. How amazing in this? Now, of course, this does take away from some of the space that you can have in the center there, but come on, how cool is it to have your very own cooler in your vehicle? And just the way everything is here, just that textured look, leather, everything, you can tell that Jeep really wanted to show that attention to detail in this vehicle. If you look in front of the center handrest, you do have another section. Of course, when you open this up, this is for your front cup holders. And moving right in front of that, you can see the amount of gloss black in this vehicle. And in the center, of course, is your gear selector. And then right below that, you do have your four-wheel drive low selection, and then you have your hill descent control as well. Now, like I mentioned, this vehicle does have your select terrain system, so you have the option of choosing rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, sport. So that's really cool. And then of course, this also has your quadra-lift air suspension, so you have different settings that you can put this vehicle in. Moving right above that, you do have different options, of course. Starting from the right side, I'll go to the left. So on the right hand side, you do have your button to turn off your passenger screen in the dashboard, which I will show you. You've got your tow haul mode, you've got your parking sensors you can turn on and off, you've got your perpendicular assist and all of that good stuff. You've got your traction control, lane departure, You've got your auto hold on, off, whatever you want to do. This little button here is gonna actually lift up this little screen here, and you have more space in the back. So once that screen goes up, of course you have more space in here, and you've got your wireless charging pad, you've got your HDMI for your passenger, your USB ports and all of that for the rear, and then of course for your front as well, along with the aux cable and a 12-volt adapter. One thing that you'll notice that Jeep did really well within this vehicle is just how everything is laid out. It doesn't seem like it's too out of place or anything like that. It just flows very nice throughout the whole vehicle. So on this screen itself, you can of course have your heating and cooling that you want to change and stuff like that, or you have hard buttons, or you have the actual main screen up top. There's a ton of screen real estate in this vehicle. Also, what you can do is you can go onto your seat settings, massage settings for your rear passengers, and then you can turn off the screen as well if you're not using this. So a lot of different things that you can do within this screen alone. So for example, if you go into seats, you can obviously move your lumbar support, your back support, your thigh support, and all of that good stuff. So not only do you have the option of doing that from the door panel, but also through this screen and the screen above that. And then of course, in your massage settings, you have a bunch of different massage settings that you can go through, and then the intensity levels and whatnot. And again, you can use this screen or the screen above. So tons of different ways to use the screens within this vehicle. Now, if you look right above that screen, like I was mentioning, you have controls for your heating and cooling and all of that stuff. So you can use these buttons or the screen below it or the screen above it. Now let's move on to the third screen, which is actually the main screen of the vehicle. I have one more screen to show you after this, but for this main screen, it's identical to the Grand Cherokee L's, to any of the 2022 Rams or any other 2022 model, because this has the new and improved Uconnect 5 system. And this is a 12-inch screen, which is massive. And there's a lot of different things that you can do in the new Uconnect 5 system. It's more redefined, more better, more responsive, and all of that. And something cool that you can do on this, you have a section for My Pages. And once you go into that, you can actually change different layouts and all of that, how you want to have the screen set up to your liking. And if you go into the media section, very typical, you can go into your AM, FM, Sirius XM. And now, because of the Uconnect 5 system, you can wirelessly connect with your Google Android phone or Apple CarPlay. And then also you can go ahead and change settings for the rear seats as well. You can customize whatever you need to do, so you can turn off the screen, turn it on, and there's just a whole different thing that you can do with the rear seat entertainment. Then if you go into the comfort settings here, like I was mentioning, you can control your heating and cooling as well from this screen. You can also control your heated seats, vented seats, heated steering wheel, and the same thing that I was showing you on the screen below. You can go ahead and change your lumbar support and all of that under the seat settings. And then same thing with your massage seats, you can change intensity and all of that, different settings. And then in the rear, obviously you can control the climate in the rear from the front as well. And something cool that I find in this vehicle is these little buttons that you see on the sides. So you have your heated seats, again, you can choose from here, your vented seats, and then where it shows zone, you can actually control the different zones where you want that heating or cooling to come from. And then of course you have your heated steering wheel settings, and it's the same thing on the passenger side as well. And then you've got your screen off button. So a ton of different ways to access this vehicle. Next is your navigation. So again, with the Uconnect 5, you can just see how much better it looks. And you've also got a 3D button there as well. So not only can you see it here, but also in your center gauge cluster and on the passenger screen on the dashboard, which I'll show you. Next is your phone settings. Now with the Uconnect 5 system, you can pair up to 2 phones at the same time. Moving over to the vehicle settings, here you have a bunch of different controls like your mirror dimmer, second row and third row headrest folding buttons. You can turn the passenger screen on and off, and then you can also allow passenger screen permissions, what they can do and stuff. You have the button for your power side steps, surround view camera, and also this has the fam cam. So in terms of your surround view cameras, here it's pretty much exactly like all the other vehicles, the trucks and all of that. So you have different angles that you can see your camera system, top view, front, back, everything that you have, you can see it here. And then if you go into your fam cam, here you can see what the kids are doing, or adults at the back, of course. And then whatever section you click on the right side, it'll show a zoomed in photo of that. Also in your vehicle settings is your off-road pages. Now you can take this off-roading. I don't know if you would, pretty expensive vehicle, but if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. So once you click into your off-road pages, there's a bunch of different things that you can see for your vehicle. You can see your vehicle dynamics, of course, your accessory gauges, so different temperature levels and all of that. You've got your pitch and roll. You've also got your select terrain system. So on this, depending on which setting you have, off-road, mud, rock, whatever, the image on here will change according to that, which is cool. And then of course, you've got your suspension settings there, so you can see what settings you're currently in and all of that. And finally, if you go into your app settings here, you can just go through a bunch of different applications. Of course, there you see at the top, you can change your ambient color for the interior. And then also this has built-in Alexa now. Also now on the Uconnect 5 system, the top bar is a touch bar. So if you touch any of the other buttons, it'll kind of bring up a shortcut menu like you're looking at right now. Moving above all of that, you've got your rear view dimmable mirror, but if you flip that little button at the bottom, it turns into a rear digital mirror, which is really nice. And above that, more piano black, but you've got obviously your tailgate open and close button, interior dome lighting, assist and SOS buttons. You've got your sunroof options and then your sunroof shade option as well. This has the dual panoramic sunroof and a third one for the third row passenger, so a tri-pane sunroof, which is really nice. Now let's make our way to the fourth screen, and on the passenger side, let's take a look on what's over there, because you've got this screen and then you've got more of that nice trim that says Grand Wagoneer. It just looks so stunning. So on the passenger screen, there's a bunch of different things that you can do. On your home screen, you've got section for your audio, video, HDMI, your Uconnect Fire TV, navigation, and then you can see your devices. So you can do a lot of stuff on this screen from the passenger side. And don't worry, this is a privacy screen, so the driver cannot see this while you're doing whatever you need to do. And then of course, you've got your notification settings. And then if you go to controls, you can control the screen off options, how much of a brightness you need. And then for your wireless headphones, you can now use any wireless headphones. So if you have Beats headphones, you can connect it with this vehicle now. As for the glove department, you've got a little bit of room, not too much, but that makes up for it for the center console and the one in the back as well. So you've got room all over the vehicle. Now, if we go ahead and see what powers this beautiful machine, it's a 6.4 liter V8. Now, this is standard on all of the series 1, 2, and 3, and it's the only option that you can get. In terms of power, you're going to be getting 471 horsepower and 455 foot-pound of torque. In terms of how much you can tow with this bad boy, well, you can tow about 9,800 pounds when equipped with the heavy-duty trailer tow group. And you've also got this nice little plaque that says Wagoneer, where it's built and all of that good stuff, which is really unique. And if you want to hear what this beautiful 6.4 liter V8 engine sounds like, well, take a listen for yourself. And here is the window sticker for the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. You can see the base price, and right below that you can see the exterior colors, engine options, and whatnot. Below that you'll see the standard equipment. It has, and I mean it has, a lot of standard features, which is amazing to have, of course. And then after you're done with the standard equipment, you've got your optional equipment, and like I mentioned, this has pretty much every single option that you can get this with. Like I mentioned, this is the Obsidian package, convenience group, heavy duty trailer tow package, and all of that good stuff. And then at the bottom you do have the total price. Now keep in mind, this is in Canadian. And that's it for this beautiful 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2 Obsidian. Let me know in the comments down below, do you love this or do you hate this?